importance of family in our society cannot be underrated, especially the issue of socialization. Family plays a very, very important part in the socialization process, and the family in many cases determines whom we are going to be. And so the way we are brought up, the factors, the experience we go through has got a serious bearing even in our later lives. But notwithstanding, there are also quite crucial factors which affect an individual in the journey as the person graduates from one stage to another. And so, before I get to our today's topic on lesbianism, I would encourage those who have not subscribed to this channel, please, I would kindly encourage you to subscribe so that you'll be alerted by YouTube channel when a video is produced. And for those who have supported us, who have supported this channel through subscribing, is a great thank you and a thumb up. But I would also encourage you to also share and also like. So now, let's get on our today's topic on lesbianism. Lesbianism is a topic which people would not like to discuss in the open, and probably they would like to discuss but when the doors and windows are closed. It is an emotional topic, and the people tend to probably think lesbianism is common with wasungus. But I would like to say today, it's a problem which have affected our youth in secondary schools, in primary schools, and not only our youth, but even adults have also been affected. And so the aspect of lesbianism today, I will look at it on a broader spectrum, that it is covering both the young and the old. So now, what is lesbianism? Lesbianism is an emotional and sexual attraction of female to another female. It's usually termed as sapphism or female homosexuality. Please, I would also like you to understand homosexuality does not mean male and female relationship, but homosexuality has to do with the sameness of gender. And so when it is a lady with a lady, it is called lesbianism, or what I'm calling in this video, sapphism or female homosexuality. When it is a male to a male, it is called sodomy, and that is why God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, and so yet the word sodomy. And so lesbianism is the relationship, the emotional relationship or sexual relationship between a female, and this can be through masturbation, through oral, genital, or anal, genital. These are some of the methods of which it is done. So now, this afternoon, I would like us to look at it. What are the causes of this lesbianism in our society, which have become a great concern and great fear, and parents are fearing lest they be stigmatized. Schools, they know it is a big problem, but they are fearing lest it is blown in social media and the name of the school will be at stake. Now, one of the reasons of the causes is the issue of moral laxity. Religion has taken a back treatment, that the issue of morality is no longer overemphasized, and so it is now a big problem because Christianity now, it is no longer taken as serious as it used to be. And not only being taken serious, because one of the main problems is that even the significant others, the church and even the family members, the father, the mother, they are not walking the talk. And so it is not having a great impact. The other one is people can become lesbians by learning. When you associate with a lesbian, they can teach you, and then finally you adopt those attitudes, and then you become a lesbian through the learning process. And this one is very, very important, especially in secondary schools. If you are in Form 1 during orientation, if you have just joined a secondary school and you are attached to what they call a mother guide, for example, in girls' schools, I don't know what they call them in boys' schools, but then now, if whoever you are attached to during orientation end up teaching you about lesbianism, then you might think this is the practice in that school, and you might think that this is something which is to be valued. And then with that, or you might probably think this is a culture of the school. Culture is a way of life, the attitudes, the mores, and the norms which people adopt. So you end up thinking these are the norms and the mores and the values of the school, and who am I not to swim in this trade? Then the third one is a girl might end up becoming a lesbian because of having got disappointment with the boyfriends. Now, if one was disappointed, you feel that you are inferior, you feel that there was something which you didn't have, and so you develop an inferiority complex, and so you don't want to have anything to do with the boys, and so you feel it's better to relate with your fellow girls who are not going to disappoint you. The other aspect is the aspect of family upbringing. The upbringing is very, very important, and this can happen if your sisters are lesbians. Your mother may also be a lesbian. It is something which is very much appreciated in the family, and so you don't see anything wrong. So even if you go to secondary school or to primary school or to other institutions, you might find that it is okay to practice lesbianism. And so then another aspect is the issue of civilization and urbanization. You know, in towns, there is the aspect of heterogeneity. You meet people who have different cultures, people of different behavior, people of different norms and values. And so you know, in the midst of that confusion, even if you involve yourself with lesbianism, nobody will know you, and so you feel comfortable in towns. And also the aspect of social change, urbanization and social change, you feel that now this is modernization, and so you are likely to be influenced more so even by the tourists who are in our country, who will end up now bringing some different values, and then you accept them. Okay, now in the case of schools, senior girls, for example, they can conscript new girls during orientation, as I've said, about the issue of mother guide. Then there is the aspect of seduction. Young girls can be lured by adult lesbians who have been in the practice for a very, very long time, and so they lure you, they seduce you through certain gifts and other things. Then there is also the aspect now of separation. I am now trying to mix schools and even adults. Some mothers, some young, old women who have separated from their husbands, some have through divorce, others have lost their husband through death, so they may feel that they don't want to get involved with men because of religion. They may also probably feel, although they have lost their husbands, they don't want to get involved with other men. Some have got separated, probably through disappointment, and they don't want to be disappointed by other men. So what do? They approach other women so that they feel that they are not committing any sin. After all, they are not committing adultery. It's an affair, a woman with another woman. Then there is also the aspect of nymphomaniacs. There are some women who have got excessive sexual urge or desire, and these women may not be satisfied by their husbands or by their lovers, and so what do? They feel that what they better do they better go and look for this satisfaction from their fellow women. And this is not the problem of nymphomaniacs, people with excessive, women with excessive sexual urge. Of course, we have also got men who have also got this desire, whom we call voyeurists. Now, there is the aspect also of negative self-concept. Some girls may be feeling that there is something which they lack. They feel that they are biologically inadequate. They feel that they are masculine. They feel that they are ugly. They feel that they are too short. They feel that they are not attractive. They feel as if God did not take time with them to make them become attractive. And so now, when they feel that they have got negative self-concept, they don't want to relate with men, and so they want to get to relate with their fellow women or fellow girls. Then the others would feel that there are fewer women, there are fewer men to approach them, and so they feel they are lonely. This is also tied up with the aspect of feeling that they are not attractive, and then they have got low concept. So, since I am ugly, since I don't look attractive, which man will approach me? The other one is the aspect of being in an environment where there are no men. Being in an environment where there are no men can also contribute. This is in only girls' schools, in barracks also, then in convents, in seminaries, and remand homes, and in remand homes. Now, what do I mean? In such places can also be a challenge where you don't have people, men, to satisfy your desire. Schools, barracks. And of course, this is why we have got the aspect of hysteria in girls' secondary schools. They have got a lot of sex pressure, but they don't have a place to vent it off. And so they end up now laughing or crying hysterically. Now there is also the aspect of adventure. Others get into lesbianism through adventure. They want adventure. Others is because of boredom. Others through financial difficulties. And especially you have got financial difficulties. You come from a poor family. And then the people, your classmates or your schoolmates, some coming from well-off families, they are going to give you money, and then you become a victim of lesbian after having been given money. Others is the issue of rebellion. You feel that you don't want to have anything to do with men. You hate men because of certain experiences. You hate them, and so you are just rebelling. Lesbianism is a sign of rebelling. Then you feel there is need to please another person. A person approaches you and there is a lesbian and you don't want to annoy that person. There is a need to please that person. So that is also another problem. Then there is the aspect of feeling equality. There is now the society feel men and the women are equal. They are the same. Why should I have a sex with a man? And why can't I not have relationship with another woman? So we are all equal. So this is the aspect of distorted thinking about equality. Then some girls will get to lesbianism because of fearing sexually transmitted diseases. Others are fearing the aspect of the relationship breakups. You are broken with your boyfriend. So you don't want to have anything to do with men. So you want to have a girl, and then who is going to play probably the role of a man, in quotes. Then there is also the issue of peer pressure. How you want to fit in one group, then you have also to be lesbian like us. Peer pressure. Then there is also the issue of drugs, drug addiction. You get into drugs, you get into lesbianism, you are not yourself, you are in another world, you are high and you don't know what you are doing, then you get influenced. There is also the aspect of fearing of pregnancy. Some women might be fearing pregnancy. Girls may be fearing to get pregnant, so you relate with other girls. After all, a girl will not impregnate you. Then with those who are elderly ladies, you have undergone through experience of pregnancy, you have undergone very painful experience through very painful labor pain, and so you don't want to have anything to do with the pregnancy. You don't want to have, so you make a decision that you don't want to have anything to do with men. And so what do? You get yourself involved with other women because of fearing to have prolonged labor, fearing to go to see, to be done, to undergo CS and such things, and so you try to avoid men. Then there is also the aspect of digital, the issue of computer, the issue of television. They have exposed our girls to the issue of these blue movies, which make them find there is no problem. Then there is issue of sexual hormones, which have gone haywire. There is just the environmental aspect of girls. They have got, they are developing, the sexual hormones have gone haywire, and there is sexual urges, and so they want to explore, they want to experiment, and so during this experimental stage, they want even to explore even lesbianism. Then another aspect is the girls have been taught that boys are bad, so they want to avoid them. Then there is also the inability to relate with the opposite sex. Why? Physical appearance, fear of being rejected. Then probably those girls also under a brutal father, or are also an extremely good mother, so you don't want to get married. And then also the aspect of tourism. You have gone to coast, you interact with the tourist, and then they lure you to that lifestyle. And then another problem is having an experience of painful coitus. Maybe girl from your boyfriend, maybe from other lovers, maybe you are married and you are also encountering painful coitus, or what we call dyspareunia. You would probably like to avoid men, then you relate to women. Thank you very much for viewing and listening to this video. Thank you very much.